Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good. This is my contest entry for Roberts on my Turntable 700 subscriber contest. Firstly, congratulations Robert to getting to 700 subscribers. That's an awesome achievement, man. Anyone who doesn't know Robert, he mainly shows a lot of 70s and 80s rock, a lot of progressive stuff, a little bit of progressive metal in there as well, with Dream Theater and stuff like that. He shows a lot of. Um, but yeah, before I get into the actual my entry, I just wanted to just apologise basically for not really doing a lot of content recently. Um, I don't know, something just sort of stopped inside that made me not want to carry on, or not carry on, but not made me not want to make videos. Um, I took a little break sort of towards the end of last year, so then I'd be a bit more refreshed for this year, and I started. I made my CD update and vinyl tag, not vinyl tag, metal tag, and after that I sort of was in a groove, and then I've got some ideas for videos that are ready to go. I haven't filmed them, and I tried to do this other video, and I just wasn't getting anywhere with it, and I sort of lost a bit of motivation to want to do it. So I've just that's why I haven't done any videos for ages, or a couple of weeks anyway. But yeah, when I saw this contest, I thought that kind of made me want to have a little bit more motivation to want to make videos. I've took a bit of time off as well, so hopefully I should be in a better place to want to make them videos now. So yeah, that's sort of just quick little update on that. But yeah, contest now. It's a really great idea for a contest. You have to show 5 albums that influenced you most as a teenager. Now this is pretty difficult for me because, well, for a start, I'm not that long from being a teenager. I was only 19 not that long ago, a couple of years ago. Um, and yeah, my teens were pretty big for me to getting into music, because before then I wasn't really into music. I wasn't bothered. It was only when I got to about 13, 14, that was when I started getting into music, and then I started learning guitar at 14 and started listening to more and more stuff that way. And basically I wanted to pick my 5 upon bands and just albums, songs that influenced me, not just as as a teen, but also uh, as a guitarist as well. Like fellow guitarists that I took massive inspiration from during that time. So yeah, let's just get straight into first one. It's fairly obvious if you know me. It's them and that album. Favorite Metallica album. When as I said, when I first listened to this, I must have been about 14, and I started learning guitar around then, and all I wanted to learn was just this whole album. Um, Compositional wise, fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, that was a massive influence on my guitar playing, because at that point I just basically just wanted to play like these guys at that point. So that was a massive one for me at about 14. Next one, I sort of listened to this, I can't remember, it must have been about 15, 16, and this was another massive game changer for me in my guitar playing. That's Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz, his debut album. It's a debut solo album. Yeah, when I first heard this and Randy Rhoads, more to the point, that that added a whole new dimension to my guitar playing. After that, I sort of I've got to be careful with that because it's a bit damaged. But yeah, after listening to Randy Rhoads playing on here, the classical influence, that sort of helped me sort of appreciate classical music a bit more and add a bit more of that into my playing. So yeah, Randy Rhoads is a huge influence on me. So especially around that time. So yeah, massive one for me. That next one, sort of a little bit left field. I haven't really talked about this guitarist a lot, even though he's one of my biggest influences ever, and that's Gary Moore. And this is Still Got the Blues. I think this is from 1992. I got this in a 5-album set of his classic 80s albums, plus a couple from his 90s albums as well. But yeah, this album got me into blues music. After listening to this, it sort of I started to appreciate blues a bit more, and I started to get into a lot more blues and playing a lot of blues. Yeah, I've learnt quite a lot of them songs on this album, and yeah, it kind of got me more into Gary Moore as well. Yeah, this is a brilliant album. Definitely recommend this. Yeah. Moving on. Again, this was a massive game changer for me in terms of, being a metalhead and being into a lot of metal, and started playing more metal guitar wise. That's Rust in Peace. Just absolutely fantastic album by Megadeth. Their best, I think. Yeah, the classic lineup with Marty Friedman, and again, Marty Friedman, a huge influence on me with my guitar playing and lead playing, but also this riff wise as well. I started to play a lot more riffs that sound similar to this. Yeah, some of these songs are such a challenge, especially Tornado of Souls. That song is classic for a reason, because it's unreal. And yeah, just another huge game changer for me as a guitar player and getting into music and metal as well, because after this, that opened the door for other metal, and then yeah, getting into stuff like Pantera, and then Slipknot, and then Trivium, and then death metal as well, like Obituary and all sorts. So yeah. And the last one, another massive one for me, Joe Satriani, Surfing with the Alien. Again, probably his best album. And yeah, I first heard this when I was about 17. And before then, I'd listened to a little bit of Joe Satriani, a little bit of The Extremist. But this was the album that really got me into his music and wanting to play a bit more like him. And yeah, over time, I've probably took more from Joe Satriani than I have any of the other guitarists that I've just mentioned. Especially if you've seen any of my improv solos and you know Joe Satriani, you can definitely hear a Joe Satriani sort of style in my playing, or I at least try to play like him. And yeah, this album was massive, especially like the title track and Ice Nine, Always With Me, Always With You, Circles. Brilliant album. If you like your instrumental rock and you haven't listened to this is a must. So yeah, that was my entry for Robert's contest. Please go check his channel out, and also please enter this contest. It's fairly easy, unless you wasn't into music when you were a teenager, but I doubt that highly. Yeah, so yeah, that's it, and until the next time, keep it metal.